This is the Jersey Boys Sports Sports Talk presented by the Sportscast, December 2nd, 2021. If you haven't yet, please subscribe in all our channels, YouTube, twitch.tv, Twitter, and Apple Podcasts. And if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, please leave a rating and a review. It will help us out tremendously. And of course, you can listen to us on online radio, and you can go to our website, thesportscast.net, thesportscast.net, and you can download our app, the Sportscast, for iOS. What a week for a lot of stuff going on in pro football, NFC East, NFL, and this is the Jersey Boys Sports Talk. I am Santiago Leon, substituting for Victor Arocho. He is on assignment tonight. He's actually overseas somewhere, so but we do have Byron Jones, the Robin of the show. Welcome back to the Jersey Boys Sports Talk.
Hello, everybody. How y'all doing? How about those Giants this week? Mm-hmm.
And of course, joining us, special guest Jeff Jishnak, all the way from Canada, with his Cowboys attire on. How you doing, Jeff?
I'm doing well. How about you, boys? Good to see you guys again. I've missed you. It's been a few weeks since I've been on.
Now, your rule is you don't show up after a Cowboys loss, but this week you're making an exception.
Well, we're playing tonight's game day, so it's a whole new week.
Okay.
So you caught me good. If we lose, I'm hanging up on you.
Okay. Well, good thing the game starts at in 20 minutes. So we'll see what happens. The Cowboys play the Saints tonight. Interesting game because Mike McCarthy will not be at the sideline today because he had COVID. And, of course, Amari Cooper's out. And I think CeeDee Lamb is too.
Amari's in.
Amari's in. Anyways, Jeff, give us a short preview of what's going to happen tonight with the Cowboys and Saints.
Hang on. I'm in a restaurant, so, Canada, we got extra precautions here. Tank's back next week. When we play on Sunday, when we play the team with no name, we're going to not only have Tank, we're going to have Canadian Neville Gallimore back. What's his name? CD's active. Amari is active. Dak is healthy. Zeke is fine. Rumors of his whatever. Byron's going to be going, yeah. Anyways, Zeke's fine. And if not, that's fine. He can rest. We've got Pollard. Because, again, two-back system. I'm a proponent of the two-back system. I'm just saying.
You lost last week, though, right?
Washington is on a little bit of a run. But we play them next week, and we got 10 days off after today. And here's my new favorite person. Here we go, my new favorite person. Cheers, boys. Cheers to another Cowboy victory.
But you lost last week, though, right?
Byron, we can either defeat the team or we can defeat the refs. We can't beat both.
Oh, yeah. Excuses.
Well, anyways, tonight is the game. Last week, Cowboys lost. But this past week, the Giants won. They beat the Eagles 13-7. Byron, the defense showed up for the Giants, didn't they?
Daniel's out. Defense played well. Daniel's out. They signed Jake Fromm from the Bills squad. What do you say to that?
Jake Fromm from, what is that, Allstate? That's what he signed.
Oh, okay, yeah. Jake from Allstate. That's right. The guy who wears the red shirt.
You didn't think about that.
I don't know if Canada sees those commercials, but we do.
Do you get the Allstate commercials?
We do.
Okay.
Yeah.
But, the defense showed up because the offense was the usual train wreck. Saquon had the one big run, 32 yards, and still finished with under 60 or whatever he had. Daniel Jones is supposed to be hurt this week, something with like a neck strain or whatever's going on. That's why they signed Jake. And if he can't go, then they're going to have Glennon. But overall, the defense played well.
That's not the biggest news out of New York.
What?
They fired Jason Garrett.
They fired Jason Garrett, and Freddie Kitchens was making the play calls.
But it really wasn't too much of a difference. The only thing he did a little different, they had him in motion a little bit more than what they've been doing, the last 2 years or however long he's been there. That's the only difference. They're still running the same play, but you figure you really can't change the offense, halfway through the system, through the season before, but we'll see how Freddie does. It should be interesting.
What do you think, Jeff?
You know what? The NFC East is still wide open because there's still games against Washington, Philadelphia. Our 4 of our last 6 games are in the division. So if the division teams can step up, somebody could take the division from them. Whereas a few weeks ago the division was ours and we had a shot at number 1 seed, but and Washington, I know Aaron's probably running around still cheering for the team with no name.
Yes, of course. Washington football team is in a bit of a streak.
And they're if the playoffs were today, they're in.
Yeah. And they beat the Seahawks 17-15. Byron, do you think this Washington team has something to prove, or you need to see more?
Got to see more. You don't know if this kid like Tyler, Heineke,
yeah.
If he's the real deal, even though he's 20, everybody, he's 28 years old. So he's playing well. McLaurin, the receivers playing well. They got a running game. They got a really good offensive line. Even though they did lose Chase Young, to injury, they still have those other 3 guys that are, number 1 picks. And I think was it Jonathan Payne, I think his name is, one of the tackles. He got paid in the offseason, so he's stepping up to the plate too. But they're defensively, they're tough, and as long as the kid keeps being a game manager and doesn't lose the game for him, they'll be fine. Washington.
Jeff?
Is it a 2-team race? Washington and Dallas is Philadelphia and New York.
New York is done. We're looking for the draft picks for next year. Philadelphia, around here, they were talking about that Jalen was hurt, that he hurt his ankle, in that game.
Santiago, I sent you a tweet from Fox with if the draft was as the season ended today, the draft pick, right? And correct me if I'm wrong. The Jets have 2 in the top 15, and the Giants have 2 in the 15 or 20 or something like that. I don't know if you have that handy.
We'll double check, and I will definitely screen share you guys on that. But yeah, let's see. Let's look at the current draft order. What was that?
Picks.
The
Eagles are gonna have 3.
3 picks. Oh wow. Okay, hold on here.
Yeah, with Eagles. All right, somebody. I only kind of glad. I kind of sent it over. I was busy. I was doing another show, and I just kind of sent it over. But I think the Eagles and the Giants are done, at least the chase for the division. If the playoffs were today, Washington would have to play Tampa Bay, right?
And they could they could beat them.
Again, that could be interesting. Which Washington did beat Tampa about 2 weeks ago for the revenge game. But the game will be in Tampa, wouldn't it be?
Yep.
It would be. Yep. And the Cowboys, at the moment, as the 4 seed, would play the Rams, who seem to be reeling. They seem to be going in the wrong direction.
With them, they're one of the teams that I think are overrated, the Rams. You have Sean McVay, he's supposed to be this great play innovator or whatever, whatever they call. But when they went to the Super Bowl, the year that the Rams went, what did they do? They ran the ball with Todd Gurley. Now they have the new shiny object, which is, Matt Stafford and the receive, OBJ. And you figure, all right, I'm going to throw the ball. And it's not working. They're like that. Cleveland Browns with Stefanski, same thing. Baker Mayfield is not a franchise quarterback. It's not always hurt. And when they were winning, what they do? They ran the ball.
Are we going to crown Christian McCaffrey as the injury prone? Give him the injury prone tag?
Nah, that's Saquon's all by itself. That's Saquon.
All right, Saquon, the injury bug. That's it.
But the difference is that McCaffrey already got paid. He got that big contract, like a year or 2 ago. That really big contract for running back. And what is he? He's been busted up just like Saquon has the last 2 or 3 years.
So Saquon won't get paid because he's been hurt?
Nope.
Okay.
Can't do it.
You heard it here, folks. You heard it first here, folks.
Can't do it.
All right. Great Byron Jones has said Saquon will not get paid because
no way.
You don't think so? You think he's too injury prone or something?
Yeah, because you figure, look at this league, what it is now. Look at Dallas, prime example. Zeke, Pollard, 2 running backs. Even though you paid Zeke, all that money to run the ball, but at least they have 2 guys that run the ball. So you got one you paid, the other one's still on whatever contract he's on. And that's the way the league is going, as far as with these running backs. Why are you going to draft a running back number 2 like the Giants did overall when everything else is a train wreck? And then you're going to have to turn around and pay him all his money 4 or 5 years down the road. When what the lifespan of a running back is what? 3, 4,
4 years on average. Yeah.
And and it doesn't help the fact that he's always hurt, knee, ankle, and whatever else, was wrong with this guy. But as far as to turn around and give him a contract for $50 million, and what, $40 million guaranteed? No, you can't do it.
Jeff, do you think Saquon should be a franchise player for the Giants?
I do. I think he's their best player, even if he's hurt. I still think he's their best player. So I think you got to pay him.
Can't do it.
Who's the best player? Who is the best player on their team then?
Now probably the kid that's hurt, Tony, Kadarius Tony.
Okay. All right.
But yeah, Tony definitely is.
I saw some tweets that said Gettleman may be out at the end of the year. Is he going to be the first? Well, I guess Jason's gone and whatever. Is he going to be the first domino to fall in the offseason?
They're going to let him retire. They're not going to just kick him to the curb like that. He's a Giant from back in the day, when whatever. But they're going to let the guy retire, at the end of the year because of health reasons or whatever. It's going to be something. They're not going to just fire him. They're going to let him retire on his own.
You don't think they're just going to? Okay. All
right.
They're
the cord, but they're not going to fire him. They're going to just let him retire.
So I pulled up the list of the draft order for 2022. I couldn't find your mention, but I did find it on an NFL tweet that was posted about 49 minutes ago. And there you have it. We got the Jets with 2 picks at number 4, and
one of those picks is
5.
One of those.
And Giants have 6 and 7. So it's quite interesting. Eagles have 2 picks as well.
Well, 3. Number 14.
Oh, 3. Wow.
Yeah, they got 3 picks in the top 15.
Yeah.
And then the Jets have back-to-back, and the Giants have back-to-back. So that's going to be interesting when we start doing our draft shows in March, April, May.
Yeah, very interesting.
What else do you see significant here, Jeff?
That was the biggest thing that I noticed is that, and again, my son is a Jets fan, so we already had talked about this. That's why when I saw this, I sent it over to you.
Yeah.
But the number of picks. It'll be interesting to see who comes out. It's also going to be interesting, just side checking for a second, with some of the coaching changes in the in college ranks and what's going on there with the Notre Dame guy, Brian, and with the other guys moving around. So it's going to be quite interesting. And I don't know if you've talked about it on your college show, but some of the recruits are now backing out of where they were going to go and now maybe going somewhere else.
Yep.
Yeah, that is correct. Which I guess that goes into our college football segment, right, Byron?
Yes, sir.
All right. So the biggest news of the week, obviously, was Lincoln Riley going from Oklahoma to USC.
Was the biggest one, or was it the Notre Dame?
I think USC, right, Byron?
Yeah, I think that one's the biggest one, because again, Lincoln Riley said the only job he would ever leave for was the Dallas Cowboys. That was the only other job that he would leave for if he left OU.
Wow, I forgot about that one.
Yeah.
That's everybody's job. Everyone's dream job is to work for Jerry Jones, the best owner in the league.
but problem is Jerry Jones wants a experienced NFL coach, not a college football experienced college football coach.
True that.
Because he only interviewed 2 people, Marvin Lewis and the current one. So
yeah.
Now, what about the rumors that they were recruiting for their new team?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, I remember I'm in Canada, so I only see a few tweets.
Yeah. The cornerback coach, which I believe is Mullen is his name. He recruited for USC and Oklahoma at the same time, and that could violate NCAA rules.
They can't do that.
They can't do that. So do you think he kind of knew he was going to get this job like a few months ago or something?
you figure all these guys got the agents, and I'm sure they probably sent feelers out with the agents in the schools, like, hey, my guy is interested, at the end of the season, hey. So it's probably been in the works for a while because that move was quick. That move was pretty fast.
And things don't move that fast, especially at that level, right, Byron? You know that.
Then the other thing, like OU, okay, OU is getting ready to go to the SEC, next year or the year after? I don't think he wanted to compete at the SEC as far as, the recruiting, because now you can, the big boys, you got Alabama, Auburn, LSU. I don't think he wanted to compete as far as recruiting against these guys.
Yeah, which according to my sources, that was one of his decision points. Is that he did not want to go SEC, and just the trouble of getting players to his school compared to Alabama, Georgia, and even Auburn, for example. Even though they're doing terrible, but they do recruit some great players. So Lincoln Riley going to USC.
What about Notre Dame going to a bowl game?
We'll get to that soon. Okay. But with Lincoln Riley going to USC, how much of an impact will that be for the Pac-12? Because they need some help. All they have is Oregon, but they need another strong player, and USC might be it.
Yeah, if he can recruit, those kids, in the Watts area and Crenshaw and all those areas, that they've been recruiting, for years. Like Oregon's been getting those kids, the LA, area kids, and San Diego. They've been getting them. But now, since you have this guy, who's a quarterback guru and an offensive, genius or whatever you want to call him, now a lot of those kids are going to stay, in that area. That's a nice, very nice school.
Which at one point USC was the biggest football team in LA because it was the only one. Yeah. Back when Pete Carroll was coach and Snoop Dogg would come to the game sometimes. Yeah, and also one of their players that was committed to Oklahoma, Malachi Nelson, is now going to USC.
Yep, there you go.
That's got to be in violation of something.
You think so?
Nah. These kids change their minds and flip flop all the time. As far as because they don't until they sign, that letter of intent, saying this is where I'm going to go. They, okay, I'm going to USC. All right, why didn't you sign anything? All right, I changed my mind. I'm going over here. They do it all the time.
You had the choice of going to Oklahoma or LA.
Oh man,
been out there, so I know where I'm going. I'm going to LA.
You're a 5-star recruit. You're a 5-star quarterback. Are you going to Oklahoma, or are you going to be in LA with all the big dogs? Like, come on.
I don't know though, but being a player at OU is special because everybody knows the guys that are on the team. Every restaurant, you're not paying. Allegedly you're not paying for food, or allegedly you're not driving a nice car. Or allegedly you don't have money in your pockets. But OU's a great place to play too. But LA, is not cold. It's sunny. You're gonna see stars all the time. I don't know. LA.
Yeah, and keep in mind, you used to live in Oklahoma, which was in Tulsa, but obviously not too far from Oklahoma City. So, quite interesting pattern. Another player, 5-star running back Raleek Brown, is going to USC from Oklahoma.
They're going to start. They're going to start slowly picking them off. They're going to slowly start going there.
So, who will be the replacement at Oklahoma? You think, guys? Is that a big job?
Are they going to go within? Are they going to go internal for at least a year? Just somebody that knows what's going on there? Or are they going to go grab somebody from somewhere else?
Because the last time they did like an in-house hire, it didn't work out at all. When they have a guy, because you figure most of the guys that are on the staff are probably going to go with him, to USC. The only one that
didn't I saw a tweet, I meant to forward it to you. Wasn't there 6 guys leaving, the strength coach and a bunch of other people all heading over there?
Yep. A lot of that's what coaches do. You're my guy. Yeah, I'm going with him.
You got to take the team. Okay.
And they would have known that before. They're gonna move their families from Oklahoma to LA. They got wives and kids and schools and stuff like that. Husbands and
money talks, but also that cornerback coach. He knew already, apparently.
Did kicked him out already?
I I don't know, but I know he tweeted or some his friends tweeted, "Oh, congrats for you going to USC or something."
Right.
I didn't hear that.
So yeah, which is a little bit of interesting issue. I guess the NCAA will be going over that soon, I guess, or be investigated. College football, there's a huge underground with that. I'm starting to realize it more and more. So, anyways, Florida Gators got a new coach.
Napier.
Coach Napier, yes. Coach Napier is going to Florida from Louisiana. Florida, they got rid of Coach Mullins a few weeks ago. Guys, you think? Well, start with Byron. Do you think this is a big push for Florida? You think?
I think they got time. You figure Florida? Well, you guys are down. Florida is like a recruiting heaven down there with all the the Miami area and all the southern part of Florida. And for some reason, I don't know what happened with this guy where he just lost Florida, even though as bad as like Florida State is doing and Miami. For some reason, he just didn't recruit well, in Florida, and that probably was most of his downfall. And I think he's been, he was a quarterback guy because he came from Mississippi State. I think he was the head coach for Dak Prescott. I think when he was at Mississippi State, and for some reason he just didn't connect with the Florida people. So hopefully this guy, I think he was 11-1 this year. The guy that they hired.
Yeah, with Louisiana, he had a good record with the Raging Cajuns.
Yeah, we played them too in college, and so
it's going to be
if they can recruit in Florida, if this guy can recruit Florida like they've done in the past, it's going to be a quick turnaround because supposedly he's a good coach, but they got to be able to recruit Florida if you're the University of Florida coach.
Which they're in a better position than Miami, I think.
And Florida State too. So Florida State is
yeah, all three Florida schools are not in the best position. Jeff, who is your college football team? If you had to pick one.
You know what? I don't really have, because again, I'm from Canada. I have been to Michigan. I have been to a Michigan game
at the Big House
back in the 90s. We did a road trip.
Wow.
So I did. Almost got a pick off. Oh, Leighton should have had that.
Cowboy Saints game has started already, guys.
Cowboy Saints game has started. Yeah, Leighton almost had that. Anyways, in the 90s, I did go to the Big House once. I don't have a true allegiance to any one team. Again, you guys all went to a college. You guys have allegiance to something, whether it's a conference, whether it's a team, a player, a coach, right? We're going to talk about Jackson State and what Prime's doing down there.
What's going on there? Tell us.
I don't know. Aren't they going to a bowl game or something under Prime? Didn't they see?
It's 900 bowl guns. Everybody gets one. It's like with Oprah. You get a car. You get a car. You get a car. Everybody gets some. Everybody.
The last place team gets
a bowl. What about the big Michigan Harbaugh's first win against Ohio State?
Yeah,
that was massive.
Yeah, that was big.
That saved the job, I think.
Yeah, because I think it hung around one more year. He probably just beat that one more year, but yeah, it wasn't looking good because that's when John Cooper, my coach, got fired up at Ohio when he was at Ohio State because he couldn't beat Michigan.
Wow,
it was like flip back then in the back of the day.
No exceptions, right, Byron?
Sometimes they do what they got to do, but it would be nice to have Harbaugh as the head coach of the New York Football Giants, though.
Oh, you would take him?
I would take him in a heartbeat. Yes, I would take him in a heartbeat.
What do you think about that, Jeff? I mean, that'd be a bit of a game changer.
I'm going to have to, my Jets loving son, I'm going to have to ask him what he thinks of that. What about, is Detroit going to actually get a win? I to switch him back again just because you brought it up.
Yeah. It's fine. And we'll switch back to Notre Dame after that. So,
or are they going to go 16-1, which would be typical Detroit?
They're going to look up and win a game. They're going to get one. They're playing hard. They play hard every week, but for some reason, just not happening.
Yeah, which they play the Broncos next, and then they play the Cardinals, Atlanta Seahawks, and the Packers. So I don't know which one they can win with that one. Maybe the Falcons.
Are the Packers going to be in they got nothing to play for?
That's true. It is the last game of the season. So if they're in a good wiggle room scenario, then they might not play all out against the Lions on January 9th.
It's 3rd and 13, and you call a screenplay and lose 5 yards.
The Giants do it all the time. I ain't worried about that.
You can do that all day.
The Giants do it every week.
Oh, CD. Nice. CD
Okay, so back to college. Notre Dame, they hired internally, Jeff, Marcus Freeman.
Yep.
Which he is a former NFL player, also college. Good hire, Byron?
Yes. And the reason why is he's a minority coach that's getting a shot at being, coaching at one of the biggest university on the planet. Notre Dame everybody knows Notre Dame football. And, by them giving, this is the second time they've hired a minority. The other one was, Tyrone Willingham. They hired him. But at least, these guys are getting a shot, and at least he's getting a shot, even though he's only 34 years old.
Wow.
To be, the guy at Notre Dame, as long as he recruits well, and the kids go to school, which they do at Notre Dame, and they do the right thing.
So they take their academics seriously.
Yes, if you're not a student first, you're not getting to Notre Dame. I know a whole lot of guys that play football that could play, but they just couldn't get to Notre Dame. Wasn't happening.
He played for Ohio State. And then in pro, he played for the Bears, Bills, and the Houston Texans in 1 year. But he was a practice squad member, so not much of a pro career.
Hey, they still get a ring. They still get a Super Bowl ring.
True.
Yeah, true.
And then for coach,
Super Bowl ring.
He was a graduate assistant at Ohio State, then a LB coach at Kent State, then Purdue, then Cincinnati, and then Notre Dame.
He's moved up quick. That's fast.
That's pretty fast, yeah.
That's pretty fast.
The resume
and correct me if I'm wrong, Byron, they're going to a bowl game?
Who, Notre Dame?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're 11-1. Yeah, they're going.
And they could squeeze into the playoffs, can they? That's like, I hope not.
I don't think Alabama, I'm going to throw this out there just in case, Justin. I don't think Alabama, they're not going to beat Georgia. Georgia's defense is a monster.
Yeah, which is our next thing, conference championship game, and I've been hearing Georgia has like the spread is for them right now so far. Let's go to conference championship games this weekend. Pac-12, Oregon versus Utah for the Pac-12 championship game. What do you guys think is going to happen there?
Oregon.
Yeah, I can't see unless they forget to show up.
19 versus 11, Oregon versus Utah. Interesting. Yeah, I think Oregon had a shot to go to the playoffs. They beat Ohio State. Then they lost against Stanford. Then they were ranked in the top 4. They lost against
Dak's throwing. He's got it. Oh,
Utah, right? They lost against Utah. Was that?
Yeah, I think so.
So they're playing them again. So is this like a revenge game in Las Vegas?
And Oregon has the future, hopefully, #1 pick in the draft, the defensive end, Thibodeau or Thibodeau.
Yeah.
Kalon.
I gotta check that out. But yeah, which is
Detroit's gonna take him with the #1 pick.
They're from Oregon, yeah, defensive end. But they've sent scouts to see him play like the last couple of weeks, and allegedly, again, he's not as big as they claim, on the program. They're I think they're listed like 6'5", 250, and he's a little bit smaller than that, supposedly. But
6'3" or something.
Oh, yeah, it's like he's probably like 6'3", about 230.
Kayvon Thibodeau, yeah, this guy was projected, I think for like the past 2 years, he's definitely been a prospect, perhaps for the 22 draft. Okay,
Combine. I'm not worried about that now. They'll figure all that out at the combine, right?
Yeah. Big 12 championship game. Oklahoma State versus Baylor University in Texas, Arlington, Texas, Cowboy Stadium. What's going to happen there, guys? Who's going to win? Baylor or Oklahoma State?
I'm gonna go with the underdog, Baylor.
Baylor is the underdog.
I'm going State.
You think so? Okay. Yeah, OSU, I think they're favorite, I believe.
I'm gonna go with the underdog. Baylor plays tough every week. Every week they're tough.
And the big game, I say, SEC championship game, Georgia versus Bama. Yeah, I've been hearing the same thing. I think Georgia is favorited. This is their time, Byron.
Yes, this is their time. That defense is a monster. I think they're giving up like 7 points a game. Alabama's been kind of shaky. They were shaky last week when they played Auburn, offensively. I think Brian Robinson is hurt, like a lower leg injury or something's going on with him. But I don't think they can, even if he was playing, I don't think they're going to beat them. No way.
You're going against Nick Saban?
Yes, because that defense of Georgia is that good.
But can they win it all?
Yes. They have a quarterback that's a game manager. He doesn't make mistakes. They run the ball. They throw the ball when they have to. But everything with them feeds off that defense. I'm a defensive guy. This is probably one of the best I've seen in the last 10 or 15 years. They are that good.
Let's see what happens this weekend in Atlanta. Jeff, you going for Alabama or Georgia?
I'm never going to go against Nick Saban.
Okay, Alabama wins again.
All things being equal, I'm not going against Nick Saban. But
it's not equal. That defense, I'm telling man, that defense is that good, man. At Georgia, I'm
not disagreeing with you, but I think Nick will. I think he'll outcoach them.
He couldn't even. He barely outcoached the guy at Auburn last week.
Yeah, crazy game.
That was like,
4 overtimes.
Yeah, it was 10-0 going into the fourth quarter, and not for the couple lucky bounds. They should have lost that game. They should have.
Auburn could have won. Auburn could have won. Oh, what'd you think about that new overtime rules at the end where they got to score 2 points?
That's pretty cool. It keeps the game from not being like 3 days long.
True. And it reminded me a lot about with soccer penalties a little bit, kind of similar. So anyways, let's move on. ACC championship game, Pittsburgh versus Wake Forest. Weak conference, but what's going to happen there, Byron?
Pittsburgh.
Easily or close?
I haven't watched a lot of games. I haven't
easily. And the quarterback from Pitt, Kenny Pickett, is a New Jersey kid. He's from Ocean Township.
Is he?
Yes, he's a Jersey guy, and he's also projected to go probably in the first round somewhere.
Oh, is he? Wow, that's good. Which Byron is very good. He predicted the draft picks. Usually, he picked it last year, and he'll probably do it again next year. So he's definitely keeping an eye on that. Kenny Pickett.
Wow.
So if Jeff wants to know the future Giants players, you could ask Byron. So
Giants.
Okay, so yeah, that is a week conference championship game. It'll be played at Bank of America in
Charlotte,
North Carolina, 8 p.m. on ABC, maybe TSN. I'm not sure what's in Canada. Big Ten championship game. Michigan versus Iowa. I liked Iowa. I did not see them going to the championship game. They're going. Michigan beat Ohio State. Everyone thought Ohio State was going to go, but this time it's Michigan versus Iowa. What's going to happen there, Byron?
Hopefully Michigan doesn't lay an egg. They all hyped up and over the winning Ohio State game, and then all of a sudden they play. Oh, we're in Iowa now, and they're going to roll over, but Iowa's not going to roll over for anybody, and we'll see how that turns out.
Now, what is the scenario if Iowa beats Michigan? Can Iowa make the playoffs or not really?
Yeah, I think they've lost 2 games.
Yeah, they look at the losses a lot.
Yeah, they're not going to – they ain't skipping all those teams. They'll take a 2-loss Alabama team before they take them.
Yeah, you're right. It's interesting because my proposal for the new college playoffs is whoever wins the conference championship games automatically goes to the playoffs.
Ooh. Yeah,
that's my.
Yeah, but they got 900 conferences. Which ones are you going to just
like the big, Big 5? I would say.
Yeah, but then you turn around, you're going to exclude like Cincinnati's 12-0. They're not part of that. Big super conference thing. They're going to win their conference every year as long as they keep, the coach they have. So that basically would be excluding the Cincinnati team or like Coastal Carolina, a couple years ago. They were undefeated, and those kind of teams are going to be, excluded if you just the Power 5.
Yeah, the Power of Five. I was thinking of that, but I guess it's not popular. My proposal. But
Santiago, can I ask the biggest question of the evening?
yeah, which I'm assuming something to do with the Cowboys.
It does not. I want to know. I want to know who Byron has going to be Grey Cup. Is it going to be the Hamilton Tiger Cats, my hometown, or is it going to be the Toronto Argonauts, or will it be in the Western? Will it be the Saskatchewan Roughriders versus Winnipeg? So I want to know what's he got. Who's he got going to the Grey Cup? Let's talk real. Let's talk Canadian football.
Does Byron watch the CFL?
I don't even know what is that. The only thing I know about the CFL that Bud Grant, the head coach we had in Minnesota, he was a coach up there and won a bunch of Grey Cups up there. And Warren Moon, that's it. I don't know anything else.
Don't forget Doug Flutie. Don't forget what's that Washington clown? Theismann.
Oh, he's a New Jersey guy, South River, another Jersey guy.
So see, that's the biggest, Santiago. That's the biggest question is what I want to know. Who's going to the Grey Cup, buddy?
Toronto, pick them. I don't know.
Yeah, or the Montreal Alouettes.
Oh, they lost to my hometown team, the Hamilton Tiger Cats.
which I guess you do watch the CFL, Jeff, because I think I asked you. You said no, not really.
No, I had to go and Google it. That's why I went off camera for a second.
That's what I thought.
I had no idea who was in, so I actually had to go and Google.
Which is interesting. Which is interesting because I had an offline conversation with one of the contributors, Andre Gispert, about why not too many CFL players lately are going to the NFL, and he was telling me just the system's just like almost completely different. Mm-hmm. So it's hard for these players to come over to the NFL. Last time I saw was Cameron Wake, and that was like years ago.
Yeah.
So Doug Flutie had some success, Theismann, Warren Moon. There's been some
Andre Rison, Brett Jones,
Buster Rhymes.
Yeah, so there has been, but I guess
isn't that a rap star?
Yeah, Buster Rhymes, the original one from OU, University of Oklahoma.
Oh, not the rap guy.
Not the rap guy. There's another guy.
So yeah. Anyways, and then Cincinnati, obviously, will be having a conference championship game this weekend, I believe, against Houston. Now, Cincinnati, I guess they're in the playoffs
if they don't get screwed.
Correct. Which Houston is ranked at number 16. So
as long as they don't get legit. Because what are the top? What is it? Georgia, Michigan, Alabama, Cincinnati. So let's see. Georgia beats Alabama. Georgia's in. Michigan, if they win, they should be in. But the Alabama Cincinnati thing might be kind of a.
That's the thing. But I guess we'll find out. Do you see with any of these games, could there be any type of upset possibility? I mean, maybe the SEC, but maybe not. No upsets.
No.
I don't see it either.
I'm sticking to my man Justin again. There's no way Alabama's beating Georgia.
You were picking the underdog in the one. Would that not be an upset if you were going with the underdog? Who's the one you were picking the underdog?
Which one was it? Michigan? No, not Michigan. Iowa, Baylor, Oklahoma. Oh, Oklahoma State. I guess the Big 12 game. Byron.
Yeah, pick Baylor.
Yeah, but they're only one ranking off, so it's not much of a difference there.
Baylor's a good team.
The ball is wide to the right. Still scoreless. 7:51 left in the first quarter. Cowboys take the ball at the 45 of New Orleans. Giving your fans an update.
Yeah. Which I'm watching the game right here as well, 0-0. So looking good for the Cowboys. Nothing too crazy. Yeah. All the Saints have to worry about is Taysom Hill and Mark Ingram.
Ingram, his best years behind him.
Anyways, the conference championship games are starting this weekend. Tomorrow, of course, Oregon, Utah. Then Saturday, all day Saturday, from noon to 8 p.m. So all day, and then the day after, we'll be seeing the playoff selection. So we'll see what happens there. Pretty excited about what's going to happen. But there might not be any upsets. I'm really glad what's going to happen. Anyways, back to the NFL. Giants play the Dolphins this weekend. Tua has been on a streak, 4-game winning streak. The Giants just 1 game, but they look good against the Giants. The game will be played in Miami. Saquon Barkley is back. Byron, what's going to happen?
Well, the usual is going to happen. Let's see. The offensive line is not going to block. Hopefully, Daniel Jones plays. At least he can get out of his own way, because Glennon, the big giant quarterback, is back. He's going to be like a big old statue standing back there with Miami rushing him. Tua and Waddle have found that connection like they had at Alabama, because he's lighting it up too, Jalen Waddles. So, but I'm just going to go back again, and I'm going to go back with my boys. They're going to win and, keep it going. And I'm going to feel, even with a backup quarterback, they're still going to beat those guys because their defense is playing well.
So Jones is out for this weekend.
Supposedly. I think Joe Judge is trying to pull a Belichick. He might play, he might not play. He's being prepared. We don't know. And they've been going back and forth the last 2 days. I didn't even know the guy got hurt, because they said he got hurt when that funky slide that he does, that the guy went over top of him, hit him in the head. So that's allegedly how he got hurt.
Jeff, Miami, our favorite 2.5 point favorite. What's going to happen this weekend with the Giants?
I can't pick an NFC team.
Okay, so there you go, Miami. Which Miami has a good chance. I mean, they're favorites in Vegas. It's going to be close. What do I think? I think Tua is looking way better. Miami is definitely clicking. They've won 4 in a row. The 5th win will be tough, but it is at home, so it's quite possible we can do that. Tua, I think he's playing for his career right now. I think if he doesn't perform, Dolphins will look at Deshaun, I think.
Well, they got that 85-year-old owner down there for Stephen Ross, who wants to win now. He don't want to win 10 years from now. He don't want to win 5. He wants to win right now. So they're going to take if Tua doesn't perform for the rest of the year, they're going to take all their chips and they're going to push it in, and they're going to probably try to make that move and go get Deshaun Watson. So
which
wants to go.
Yeah, which I believe Ross is involved with those conversations. I think he does. He's indicated he wants Deshaun.
Oh, yeah.
Jeff, is Deshaun going to be still a hot commodity by the time the offseason comes, or do you think he might have lost his chance to play?
I think it all depends on what's going on with the lawsuit.
Yeah.
I just don't know. I haven't followed it enough to know what's going on with the lawsuit. But if the lawsuits go away and he's able to play, then I think he'll be a hot commodity.
Yeah, he has to go and figure that one out, maybe settle.
I don't know.
Settle.
I don't know what's going on with the lawsuit. I have not been. I'll be honest. I've not been following.
Yeah, they haven't been vocal about it lately. So
my thing with that guy is, okay, supposedly it's supposed to be with a massage therapist or whatever he was going on. All right, you're making that kind of money, and I've said this 1,000 times. You're making that kind of money. Why don't you just have your own permanent one that travels with you all the time? If you need one that bad, why wouldn't you just pick one, pay this person $200,000 a year, whatever, to travel with you wherever you go, during football season, for your massages or whatever you need. Why would you put yourself in that situation with all these different people and you get accused of stuff? When I worked for the sheriff's department, if I had a meeting with a female officer, I would always have another guy, come in the room with me.
That's smart.
That's
very smart.
I would never, have a conversation about anything, just by yourself. Not that I'm gonna get accused of anything, but it was just in case that kind of thing happened.
I agree. I'm the same way. Especially at work, you want to have that third party involved.
We're all old. We're not young guys with money.
Yeah, but I was young too. I played high level, and I wouldn't even think of doing anything like that.
Were you a quarterback?
No, not as big as I am now. Defensive end.
Important position.
Very important.
They're not going after the defensive end. No offense, Mike.
They did it. They did it for me though. I was special.
You know, they quarterback. They want the not that you're not that's not a skilled position, but they want the offensive skilled position.
I know, but still, you don't put yourself in that position. You know, he should have never put himself. You know, hindsight's 2020. You know, but he shouldn't have been, in that position.
Exactly, and of course, a lot of people go after the money. You know, some way, somehow, and if they have to go through these hurdles, they'll do it.
Zeke was false flu. He even said it was fake. He even said he made it up. He still got suspended.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah. We'll see what happens. Definitely a talented player. Only 25. So we'll see in the next upcoming months. Obviously, more towards the offseason. Let's look.
The sitting out this year will not hurt him. No wear and tear, no hit, no this, no that. Right. So taking a year off may not be bad. What about Adrian Peterson being signed by the Seahawks?
Wasn't he just on somebody else's team like recently, like the other day, like last week? He was with
the Chiefs.
Yeah. No, was it the Chiefs last week? Adrian Peterson?
Well, he got cut by the Chiefs, but did he join another team or?
He was with the Titans.
He was on Tennessee.
Oh, my bad. Titans. My bad.
Yeah, he was on the Titans.
Before that, I think he was the Chiefs last year.
Wait a minute. He went from the Titans to somebody else now this week?
Yeah, because
Yeah, with the Seahawks. He's with the Seahawks now. He's probably in the practice squad, right?
Well, yeah, you got to go there until you do all the COVID crap, right? There's all that, so you can't go right.
Oh, that's right. Right.
You got to go to the practice squad because you got to, all the COVID protocols and whatnot, right? And then move to the active roster, right? That's just protocol.
Why is he still hanging around? He's been with a lot of football teams.
Why not? He still thinks he can play. That one game he played, that one was it a Monday night or Sunday night game. He was on national television. He did okay on the one game.
Yeah, but he's got to be 36.
He's 36 years old, but still, he's a battered 36 years old.
He's been with a lot of teams. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, I mean his best years are behind him. I mean, unless he's
broke. You can have any running back over 30.
He could be broke.
Yeah, that's possible.
You might need to. I mean, practice squad member makes how much these days?
Like $7,000 a week or whatever, or 10. I think it's 10 for like vested guys. It's
yeah,
10,000 is a lot of money for a week.
Yeah, which I think he'll take if he needs it. So yeah, he's with the Seahawks. I did see him trending. I did not hear about the Seahawks, Jeff, but thanks for letting me know. We'll see what happens. I guess Seahawks. They're out with Chris Carter was his name.
Carson, yes.
Yeah, he's out because he is in my fantasy team, so I kind of know that. And he's been out for a few weeks. So Chris Carson, he's out. So of course they're they can't depend on the receivers. And Russell Wilson not looking good, right?
He looked good in the last drive, but
yeah, that's the other rumor. The New Yorkers want to trade for him, Russell Wilson, for the Giants.
I saw that tweet that New York.
Not a good idea.
Wasn't that a rumor years ago too?
His wife wants to get back to the East Coast, Sierra. Okay. So she wants to get back this way. So I guess they figure they throw all the Brocks and everything out there to get him, over here to play the Giants or wherever on the East Coast. But that would be a good idea.
59 minutes before you threw the DK.
Who knows? That was
DK Metcalf.
Yeah.
All right. So another big game this weekend I'm looking at is Patriots and Bills. I think that could determine the AFC East. What do you think is going to happen there, Jeff?
I have two opinions. One, I want the Bills to win.
Wow.
But I also think that the NFL wants a Tampa Bay Patriots Super Bowl.
That could be happening.
I think that could happen. I think Roger will do whatever Roger needs to do to make that happen.
Oh, man, come on. They determine out in the field. Unless they suspend, somebody or whatever. But
8:50 on December 2nd, I called it.
Okay, I'll write that down.
Somebody clipped this, so when it happens, you can play back. December 2nd. Actually, I said it a week ago. But, yeah, this is my prediction. So I think the Patriots will. Oh, all right. We're back in 20. We held them. All right. We had to stay at a 3-0.
Still 0-0 first quarter.
0. We went for it on fourth down, and it was a bad throw by Dak. Taysom Gill got hit. Nice. All right. Excellent. Excellent. Anyways, yeah, I think the Bills will win, but I think I want the Bills to win. I think the Bills should win, but I think something will happen and the Patriots will win.
Byron Jones, what's going to happen Monday night?
The Patriots are going to win. Mac Jones is the game manager. They're going to run the ball against Buffalo. That's what they're built to do, the Patriots, and they're playing Patriot defense right now.
Byron, I want to ask you this. Is Mac Jones the right guy for Belichick?
Yes. He's one of those. He's a clone, probably, kind of like a mini. I'm going to say it. I'll get blown up for this one. A Tom Brady kind of sort of guy.
Discipline that goes into the film room, studies
and does all the right things. He says all the right, things. Listen, Josh McDaniels is probably going to be up for another job again, but
Detroit.
Yeah, good luck with that one.
I think Detroit's going to keep I think they're going to keep Dan Campbell for a few years. I think they're going to give him a few years.
Well, he's got a 6-year contract. They usually don't get 6. He's got 6.
Wow.
They usually get 5. Like Matt Rule started out with the Carolina Panthers. He's got 6. And that was I think probably one of the deal breakers with the Giants. Well, you know what? We ain't giving nobody a 6-year contract. 5 years, 6, no.
Which that team is in quite trouble with Cam.
What about Sports Talk 101 co-host that it's on this network on Tuesdays at 10 p.m. Ray Sherrod and his 49ers. Like they're see what I did there.
What's up with the 49ers?
Yeah. Speaking of other talk shows on this network.
Yeah.
What did there, buddy? What I did
there? Well, the 49ers, I think they had an impressive win against the Vikings. And this weekend they're going to play the Seahawks. So the 49ers are not out of it. And they'll probably not finish last, right, Byron?
No, but again, that was the other coach I forgot that's on my list, the overrated coach, Shanahan. He's another one that, look at the way he schemes up the run. Look at the way he does that. And, then he's got Garoppolo, who's a good quarterback. They're going to trade all those picks to get Trey Lance, who's sitting on the sidelines, mortgage your future, because of this one guy. And you already have a guy that's serviceable. But he's another one on my list, overrated coach.
Is he overrated, Jeff?
Can somebody fact check me on this? I think they're in the final playoff spot. Are they not? Are they in the
got to double check on that.
Or watch the last spot. Maybe not.
He's still overrated. I don't care where he is.
I've never been a fan of that entire family. Maybe because Dad was a Washington coach.
And a Broncos coach, too.
Yeah, I don't care about that. It looks like Trevor Simeon's going to be coming in. Looks like Taysom Hill banged up his paw.
Which he has an interesting contract.
He has a very interesting. Well, yeah, but because he plays 8 positions.
Yeah, he does. Plays a lot of them.
Who was the guy? Who I saw a tweet? Who just on the depth charts also now listed as a defensive back? Never mind. It'll come to me. I'll find it. Yeah, but there's
probably a couple of those players that are in that.
Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Well, the playoff picture I don't have, but I'm trying to pull up NFL.com. But
I don't like any of the Shanahan. But another show on this network, Sports Talk 101 co-host Ray Sherrod is a big fan. So good for them if they're doing okay and they can they've read it. They seem to. Oh, Amari's got it. Oh, he could go down to the 35. Good for them if they can, if they can right that ship, because that ship looked sinking for a while. But they got what? They're 6-5.
Yeah, they're turning things around. So we'll see.
Still overrated, Shanahan.
Well, there you go. Both the guys don't like Shanahan.
I'm not a fan of the fan.
Shanahan, McVay, and Stefanski.
Oh yeah, the young guys.
You don't like the young guys?
Overrated, all 3 of them.
The young coaches that want to be like Sean McVay.
I don't think Shanahan wants to be like Sean McVay.
Well, like the league wants to go into like power offenses, video game type of football, but because it's because it sells tickets, it sells views.
Yeah.
So
run the ball, play good defense, don't make a lot of turnovers. That's it. That's all you got to do.
the Baltimore Raven 2000 motto. That's how they won a Super Bowl in 2000.
Yeah,
with Super Bowl winning quarterback Trent Green.
Yeah, I know, against the Giants. Yeah, I know.
My son loves when I say that. That's Super Bowl winning quarterback Trent Green.
All right, guys. Anything else before we close out the show?
We talked a lot of NFC. Is there anything in the AFC?
We talked about the Patriots and the Bills.
We talked about Patriots and Bills. We didn't talk about the Ravens. They're the number 1 seed.
As of right now, which they won ugly this past weekend.
What's going on in Cincinnati? Are they for real, or are they just lucky, or
they're for real?
Even though they lost against the Jets a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
Well,
don't forget the 3 COVID guys with the fake cards that just got suspended.
Oh yes, Antonio Brown and
Mike Edwards and Don Franklin.
I sent that.
Yeah, with Jeff help us break the news. Yeah, quite interesting with that. Obviously, Antonio Brown's been out for a few weeks already.
CD's going to score. CD's going to get down to the 1. CD down to the 1. Oh, now we're going to feed Zeke. Just jam it with Zeke, buddy.
How significant is that, Byron?
If that was anybody else, sorry, Byron, I'll let you have it. If that was anybody else, they'd be gone, because it's Antonio Brown and he's a superstar on Tampa Bay, and Roger wants him to be in the Super Bowl. They're gonna, we'll give him 3 games. If that was you, Byron,
like the practice squad guy, Franklin, he's done. He's on the practice squad. He's finished, because Bruce Arians is the kind of guy one time for parking in his space when he was with the Cardinals. The guy, he kept him, don't park in my space. Don't park in my space. Next you know, the guy came in, you're done. Get out of here.
Did he get his feet in? Did he get his feet in? Oh, look at that. Toe touching with Gallup. Sorry to interrupt, Byron.
I've seen the play right now. It's pretty good, Byron. If you're not seeing it, Dallas is in the hinge, in the cusp of scoring a touchdown.
But yes, you were right. Again, that practice squad guy, but Antonio Brown, he'll get 3 games because he's Antonio Brown.
Touchdown.
He's a superstar. I said that like, that's disgraceful. Like, come on. You either have a set of rules or you don't.
You figure the head coach is a cancer survivor, so and if anything, look out for him. As far as bringing this stuff in the building. Whatever's going on. Yeah, I don't know what's going on in the building, but it wasn't right. And he does need to be gone. If the practice squad guy is going to be gone, he should be gone too.
Again, there's different different levels or different, Antonio Brown, like I put in my tweet to you, the superstar. I put it in quotes, right? So he's gonna, Aaron. If that was a Jake Fromm or another, second tier quarterback, like a second, he'd be gone. But Aaron Rodgers, because he's Aaron Rodgers, he's he's last year's MVP. They all look the other way.
Yep.
Well,
it's like. And I'm speaking from Amari. Amari, not vaccinated. We lost him for 2 games. Did it hurt us? Probably. Was it selfish? Probably. Michael Irvin called him out. Anyways, back to the AFC. So Cincinnati, the Ravens are the number 1 seed, as you said, for the moment. You don't think they're going to end up as the number 1 seed? You think the Patriots are going to, or somebody else is going to take over? Buffalo, maybe?
I think. For some reason, something tells me the Patriots are going to take over the AFC.
Are the Titans done?
Yeah, for no Henry, don't stand a chance.
Oh, so you're saying if you only have a single strong back, then you lose that single strong back?
He
is that what you're saying? So you're saying a two back system might be good? Is that what you're saying?
That guy's a different beast down there in Tennessee. He's
still the second leading rusher. He hasn't played in a month. And he's still the second leading rusher in the NFL.
There you go. Right there. It says it all. He is a different animal, that guy.
Jonathan Taylor in Indianapolis?
Another Jersey guy. Come on now. South Jersey kid.
Why do I set him up like that? Why do I toss these balls? Why do I toss these balls? I got to do my research before the show and know which ones are not Jersey people so I can mention them.
Another Jersey guy. We're all over the place. Matter of fact, the guy blocking for him, too, is from Jersey. Quentin Nelson. The one we should.
Quentin Nelson.
He's a beast. I loved him I loved him in the draft.
Red Bank Catholic, New Jersey.
I'll take your word for it. Although I did want to go to Edison, New Jersey next weekend because it's Christmas Con, which is all my favorite stars from my Hallmark Christmas movies. But that's for another show, Sam Diego. We'll talk about that another.
That sounds exciting.
Hey, when you go, make sure you go to Harold's Deli.
Yeah, I'm not going. I'm not crossing the border. Too much COVID in your country.
Whoa.
Although the city that I'm currently in has 2 of the new Omicron cases in Canada. 2 of the 4 cases are in the town that I'm currently in. So I really should just cut them out. Anyways, yes, where were we? AFC. Who do you think's who's gonna be the number 1 seed coming out? Who's gonna get the bye? You think it's the Patriots? You think they're gonna leapfrog everybody and get the bye? Okay.
It's either them or the Ravens.
Yeah.
If I had to guess.
One of those 2.
Not Indy, not Cincy.
Not the Chiefs.
Not the Chiefs.
Not the Chiefs. I think the Chiefs have righted that ship. They've won 4 in a row. They had some struggles early, but I think they've righted the ship. And I don't think you can count them out.
Patriots or Ravens?
Patriots or Ravens. How about you, Jeff? What do you think?
I like to see. It's probably going to be. I'm going to say Kansas City. I think they've righted that ship, and I think they proved it against the Cowboys, and they proved it every week that they just can't be stopped. The offense can't. The defense is questionable. I'm a little disappointed they got rid of the only doctor in the entire National Football League, my boy Laurent Tardif, but he's on the Jets now, so that makes my son happy. But I think the Chiefs are going to end up in the top spot. They're gonna make a run again. I like to see the Bills.
NFC.
Right now, I don't see anybody beating the Cardinals. I know my Facebook friend Eric he's from Arizona, so he's a big Cardinals fan. He watches the show. I don't know if he's watching tonight. He's a big Cardinals fan at the moment, and they're gonna get DeAndre back, and they're gonna get K1 back this week. I think it looks like
DeAndre Hopkins. Yeah. What do you think, Byron? NFC favorite.
Tampa Bay can't go against.
Can't go against Rodgers' wishes. That's right. Roger will make sure they win.
Tampa Bay or Green Bay, you get them 2. Can't go against Brady for as much as I hate it. But I am a Bruce Arians fan though, so I'm good. I'm good with that.
Wow. Well, there you have it, guys. That is the AFC NFC predictions. Of course, still early. Only week 13 coming up. A few more weeks last month. And looking forward to what's going to happen and what's going to happen tonight. Byron, final prediction: Saints, Cowboys at Saints.
I'm going to be.
I think the Cowboys are going to score at least 7 points tonight.
I'm going with the Saints.
Okay. And Jeff, what is your final prediction?
I think the Cowboys are going to score at least 7 points. That is my prediction. I'm going on record as saying they're going to score. You can take that to the bank that they're going to score at least.
I can say the Cowboys are definitely looking good. But anyways, a lot of NFL and college football this weekend.
A lot of games to play.
A lot of games.
A lot of stuff that can still happen.
A lot of yardage. Jeff, what is the best way to reach you online to ask you where's the best ways to get Christmas sweaters?
Well, this is a Jerry Jones special. I get this right from Jerry and his team. All my hang on, I'm gonna put my hat on here, and we got my mask. The only thing
mask.
The only thing I don't have. Remember, I'm in Canada. We're more mask rules. Here we go. Look at that, buddy. Look at that. Everywhere that's important, I am at Jeff Tanak. That would be your Twitter. That would be your Instagram. That would be the YouTube. That would be the Twitch and Facebook as well. That nobody uses anymore. Or the metaverse, I guess is it's called now. That's where people want to complain about the Cowboys. And remember, I'm glad you guys are all leaving the bandwagon. I'm taking names, and I will make sure you don't get back on, Byron.
Byron Jones, what is the best way to reach you online? I know you have a Twitter.
Do I?
He tweeted me once. I got an actual tweet from Byron. I framed it, put it up because it was
I don't mess with none of that stuff.
So it's Byron C. Jones 1, if you guys are curious, on his Twitter. And also on Facebook, right, Byron?
Yeah, I'm on Facebook.
Byron Jones. You can look for his jersey number.
People still use it.
So, anyways.
How do people reach you, Mr. Leon?
Santiago Leon. You can reach me at Leon, Sleon, but also you can reach us at the Sportscast1 on Twitter, also Instagram, or the website, thesportscast.net. And
subscribe to all of the channels like I do.
Subscribe to all our channels, Twitch, Apple Podcast,
Look
Twitter.
for some Grey Cup updates in a future edition of the Sportscast. In a couple of weeks on a Monday, there will be a Grey Cup update from the Sportscast. Look out for that in your inbox on Monday morning.
Exactly. Go to the sportscast.net/newsletter to subscribe.
That's right. Make sure you subscribe because there will be a Grey Cup update on the Monday the 13th.
Oh, should be exciting. Anyways, Jeff and Mr. Byron Jones, thanks for coming on. This is the Jersey Boys Sports Talk.